From America's farm to fork capital and some of the richest farmland in the world, it's time for What's in Season with Michael Marks.
Well, welcome to the January episode of What's in Season with Michael Marks. And when you're thinking of the middle of winter, we all are thinking of a slice of sunshine. So where do we get a slice of sunshine in the produce market? That's right, we get them from citrus. So we're going to talk citrus this month. Dr. Chelsea Zarkon is also going to make a house call with us today. 5 simple things you can do in 2025 that's going to make you thrive by the end of 2025. You're going to love this. Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom is going to be here. Very cool thing she has for us. And of course, Chef Adam Peckel is with us, cooking up and dressing up with citrus. So let's go ahead and get started with citrus. Citrus is a winter fruit. You did know that, right? That's right. Citrus is a winter fruit. Why is it a winter fruit? What do our bodies need in the wintertime? Yes, vitamin C. And where do we get our vitamin C? We get tons of vitamin C from our citrus. We get vitamin C from our oranges and our tangerines and all of those. So that's why it's a winter fruit. And so we are in the middle of winter and we've got beautiful fruit. I wanted to start with some of the smallest of the citrus, and that would be your limes. Limes are very difficult. They're not only the smallest, but they also have one of the thinnest skins of all of the citrus, which means they're very susceptible to rain, to wind. Most of our limes come from Mexico. So that's why you see limes 5 for $1, and then the very next week they're 79 cents each, right? That's why. They're very susceptible to weather. Also, when you're picking out your limes, I want you to look for a couple things. First of all, I want you to look for a shiny head. If it looks like somebody's bald head, that's what you're looking for. It's got to be very, very shiny. And then when you're going to juice your lime, whether it's for drinks, you know, we got the NFL playoffs coming up, and I'm sure you're going to have some parties. So what you want to do, you want to roll that lime on a hard surface. Now, when I say roll it, don't just roll it like this. No, put some pressure on it. Because basically what you're doing, hundreds of little tiny water balloons are in here, and by rolling it on a hard surface, you're breaking all of those water balloons. And so you don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to juice your lime. Or your lemons, the same thing. Let's talk oranges. Of course, that's the big thing, navel oranges. Why do they call them navel oranges? Well, because it's the only one that has a navel, right? Right there at the end. There are many different types of oranges. This one actually came from Bahia, Brazil. The USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, they had what they called fruit explorers. I would have loved to have been a fruit explorer. They're kind of like the Indiana Jones of produce. They literally, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they would travel around the world finding produce items, sending them back to the United States, and that's where we got the navel orange from Bahia, Brazil. He sent 7 trees. Most of those trees went to USDA. 2 of those trees went to Riverside, California, to Eliza Tibbetts, and she grew those trees right outside of her kitchen window, and she would take the water from her sink and she would water those oranges. Well, Riverside, California, of course, became known as the navel capital of the world. In fact, in the early 1900s, Riverside, California had the highest per capita income of any city in the United States. And it was all because of navel oranges. Beautiful navel oranges. This is certainly the time of year. And actually, this time of year, they're perfect. Oh my goodness. Right at the beginning of the year, we get those freezes down through the valley. That's when the sugar content goes way up in these navel oranges. Absolutely gorgeous. There are other different types of navel oranges. Let me cut one of these in half for you. And I'll show you. This is a navel orange, but it is called a pink navel orange, or a cara cara. This actually came from Venezuela. If you get out your world atlas and just go northeast of Valencia, Carabobo state, and you'll find Interstate 1 and Interstate 11, and right there is a little farm called Hacienda de Cara Cara. And that's where we get the name, the Cara Cara orange. And beautiful. In Florida, they sell these as a pink navel orange. One of the things I love about these, Oh, the aroma. It has one of the most beautiful floral aromas of any fruit on earth. Now, of course, very popular are cuties. Everybody loves a cutie. Cutie is not a variety of tangerine or mandarin. It is a marketing name, kind of like Sunkist. But I wanted to show you something, two things that farmers have to do to get us the perfect tangerine, the perfect mandarin. First of all, you don't like seeds in your tangerine, do you? So the farmers throughout the San Joaquin Valley, they literally put nets over the entire orchard. Every row of mandarin trees has a net over them all the way to the ground so bees cannot get in there and pollinate. And if you don't have pollination, you don't have seeds in the mandarins. So every single row, that's a lot of work, isn't it? The second thing, when they harvest, look at all those little tangerines just in one little bag. Picture in your mind all the displays of tangerines throughout the United States. Every single one of these has to be harvested with this tool. You cannot just pull the tangerine off of the tree. It must be cut off of the tree. Every single one has to be hand cut. So many good things with citrus, loaded with vitamin C. So we're going to have a ton more fun with vitamin C and with citrus. Where else can we get our vitamin C? Dr. Chelsea Azarcon's coming up, and of course, Chef Adam Peckel. Don't go away. We have so much more for you. All right, so talking about citrus, to get your vitamin C, I know a lot of people, they got the little jar of vitamin C, but it's really good to get your real vitamins and minerals from the fruits and vegetables that contain those vitamins and minerals. So, of course, we all know that citrus is loaded with vitamin C. We need 75 to 90 milligrams of vitamin C in our bodies every single day. Vitamin C doesn't hold over, it uses up every day. So every day you need more vitamin C. So are there other places we can get our vitamin C? Well, let's take a walk down the produce aisle and see where else we can get our vitamin C. Check out this spud. Check out this potato, this russet potato. 12 milligrams of vitamin C right in that russet potato. That's right, so even your potatoes, you can get some beautiful vitamin C. That's why some of the old ships back in the 1700s, they all had potatoes on them. And they had potatoes for the vitamin C. Very, very important. Brussels sprouts, my favorite vegetable, Brussels sprouts, 75 milligrams in a handful of Brussels sprouts. That's a serving. That's 75 milligrams. That's all you need for the day, 75 milligrams. What else? Let's walk on down. Kale, broccoli, kohlrabi, 80 to 85 milligrams of vitamin C in a serving of kale, or a serving of broccoli, or a serving of kohlrabi. That's a lot, 80 to 85 milligrams. Again, you're getting virtually everything you need for the day with one serving of one of those vegetables. Now let's move on down to, I love chili peppers, especially in the wintertime, because they heat your body up. So I like that. So we got chili peppers, and of course we have green bell peppers. 110 to 120 milligrams of vitamin C in a serving of beautiful chili peppers or bell peppers. So yes, you can get your vitamin C there. Let's move on down the line. The kiwi fruit, and of course some cauliflower. Guess what? 128 milligrams. That's right, there's more vitamin C in this kiwi fruit than in an orange. That's right, more vitamin C. So there you go, your kiwi fruit and your cauliflower. Who doesn't love cauliflower? In fact, I take this cauliflower and I cut it into steaks and I'll put that in the oven. So you can get your cauliflower, vitamin C. The greatest amount of vitamin C in the vegetable department, check this out, colored bell peppers, red bell peppers, orange, yellow bell peppers. Guess how many? Yes, 190 to 240 milligrams. Now, our bodies only need 75 to 90 every day. So if you have snacks of bell peppers throughout the day for you or for your kids, you're getting all that you need for your vitamin C. Hey, coming up, Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom. We're going to do an experiment just for kids. Don't go away. Well, Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom is with us today, and she's going to have a pomelo with her. So this is a pomelo. they can get huge. They can get as big as a bowling ball. Some get as big as a basketball. They can be huge. But this was the original grapefruit. It's actually the granddaddy to grapefruit. This ended up in Barbados. And in Barbados, on the island, it crossed with a sweet orange. And when it crossed with a sweet orange, that's when we came up with grapefruit. This is the granddaddy to grapefruit. And Mandy, you have a pomelo with you. Most people don't even know how to spell it, much less what to do with it.
That's right. And we are doing an activity today called a sour subject. So
oh, okay.
We have a couple sour citrus fruits with us today.
Okay.
But before we get started, I want to ask all the viewers, true or false, that lemons are never bigger than grapefruits?
Trying to trick me on this one. There are many varieties of lemons.
There are.
There is
one.
You know
all of them.
There is one that's very large, isn't it? That's what you're thinking of.
I am, the Ponderosa lemon. So those can be about 2 pounds each. So occasionally those, can be bigger depending on what kind of grapefruit you're referring to. So those can be quite big as well. So your students or your kids might not know that lemons can get that big.
Okay.
So we're gonna, this is a little bit of a science and math experiment today. All you need is a kitchen scale if you have one at home. So what you're going to do is take a lemon and a grapefruit, and the child that you're helping is going to be examining those. And you can start by cutting each of the fruits in half. And first of all, you're going to make some observations. And I think one thing that they're going to notice right away is that these look, I'm going to cut it the same way, look pretty different when you look inside. So just looking at the difference in how they are, how they appear in color in the pith around the fruit is pretty different in the width of it. And then maybe even they can smell it and see how they smell
use
differently.
all of their senses. Look at it, smell it, all of that. What's it look like? So very thick peel, thinner peel, right?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. And then you're going to take some measurements. So you can put the half of the pomelo on the scale and you'll see how much it weighs. And then there's actually an activity sheet that goes with it so they can record how much it weighs as they go. Then they'll do the same thing for the half of the lemon. They'll record what it weighs. So they go through each of these things, and they actually even at some point they will peel the fruit and they'll weigh the peel, how much that weighs. They can juice the fruit and see
so
how
they get
much.
all of these percentages. What percentage of that pomelo is the rind?
You would be an A+ student because obviously you cannot compare grapefruit to lemons because they're much different in size. So they would need to come up with the percentages. So once they come up with the percentages, they can compare. Maybe 50% of the grapefruit is made up of the peel, while the lemon, on the other hand, might be 10%. So they're able to compare the two fruits once they come up with the different percentages.
And they can do percentages with the juice too, so you
can
could juice
the
it,
whole
right?
Thing. That's right. And so we actually at Ag in the Classroom, we have a lesson plan that goes with this, and there's worksheets that they can fill out as they go along where they're comparing the two different things, doing lots of math. It's kind of like a tricky way to get your kids doing math on their time off maybe when they're home from school during some of the holidays in January, February. So they'll be doing math even when they're home.
I love that. And they can investigate. And, most kids probably have never seen a pomelo up close, right? This is a great way of getting them to do that.
That's right. And if you don't have a pomelo, you can use any citrus fruit. So, if they are really into it, if you have a little scientist at home, they might want to do an orange, a cutie, whatever you have at home as well.
They could even do a taste test, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how sweet is this, right?
Absolutely. And I think tasting these fruits is really key because then they can see, how sweet or how sour they are, because citrus fruit, is across the board.
We have so many new people watching us, Mandy. Tell us a little bit about Ag in the Classroom.
Yes, Ag in the Classroom is a nonprofit. We're for the whole state of California, and what we do is we try to make it really easy for teachers or parents to teach their kids about agriculture, which is so important here in California. So we see it everywhere. Let's also learn about it.
All right, very good. Thank you for being with us. And coming up, Dr. Chelsea Azark on 5 things in 2025 to thrive with your health. Coming right up. I get asked a lot of questions about navel oranges. How come they're so difficult to peel? Well, I want to show you something. I'm going to cut this right in half, right, just like this. The navel orange is a very interesting fruit. It's actually a fruit in a fruit. which makes it far more difficult to peel because there's like 2 fruits here. That's why they're so difficult to peel. So don't worry about that. Chef Adam Peckles, by the way, is going to come back and he's going to teach us how to properly segment an orange. And that's good. Dr. Chelsea is making a house call for us today. Thank you so much. As we start a new year, right? 2025. Should we make some New Year's resolutions?
I like to think more of manageable lifestyle changes that are going to improve your quality of life, but not drive you crazy trying to keep them.
Okay, I like that even better. So how do we get started with something like, instead of making, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And after the first week, you only went twice. So we blew that already.
Well, I've got 5 simple tips, and the first one is exercise snacking.
Whoa, what? I know what snacking is.
That's right.
I know what exercising is. What is I haven't heard of that term before.
So if you were to eat snacks all day, it would impact your metabolic health, right?
In a bad way.
Yeah, so the same is true, but in a good way, for small bursts of exercise throughout the day. So research tells us that this improves cardiometabolic health, it improves insulin sensitivity, it strengthens your muscles. And get this, exercise snacks are defined as vigorous bursts of physical activity lasting less than 1 minute. So we could have had an exercise snack.
So I can do my jumping jacks while you're doing this.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Exercise snacks.
Exercise snacks.
So that's one thing, a small, simple thing that any one of us could do.
Right, absolutely. And then to go with that, people are often thinking about losing weight at the beginning of a new year. And my second tip is realistic weight loss goals. So you might think that your ideal weight is what you were in high school. But what research shows us is that even for obese individuals, you'll only need to lose between 5 to 15% of your body weight to reverse diabetes, reduce cancer risk, improve cardiometabolic health, and for most people that ends up being 10 to 20 pounds. So it's pretty much more doable than you think.
All right, I like that. So manageable weight loss.
Manageable expectations.
Okay, so that's 2.
Yes. Now, how do we get that manageable weight loss? The number one thing I do with everybody who walks into my office is eat more food. So
eat
more.
The doctor says to eat more. Okay.
That's right. So most people are trying to lose weight with chronic calorie deprivation. And what that does is it puts our body into a stress response and it pulls from muscles, which are big regulators of metabolism. Now, the key to this is you want to eat more healthy, whole, anti-inflammatory foods. So fruits and vegetables.
I approve.
Yes. So mainly fruits and vegetables. You can also pull in foods from the Mediterranean diet like we've talked in other episodes. But most people like that they can lose weight with addition.
Eat more salads.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Supersize the salad,
That's
right?
right.
Okay, that's number 3.
Yep. Number 4, real dopamine. So dopamine is our reward neurotransmitter in our brain. So it's really important for overall well-being, healthy mood. And most of us are used to getting dopamine from screens, from computers, and we want to teach our brains to make our own dopamine. And we can do that with lots of little habits. So getting outside, you can get it from petting dogs, you can get it from keeping track of what you're grateful for, which actually remodels your brain to be happier.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just being more grateful.
That's right. Or leaning into things that bring you joy throughout your day. Those are called micro joys, and it can be something like your cup of coffee in the morning. And that just trains our brains to be happier.
Okay, very good. That's number 4. So we have a 5th one.
5th one, don't sleep on sleep. So sleep is the most underrated medication. It reduces inflammation, it boosts immunity, it controls blood sugar and blood pressure, it lengthens lifespan, it protects the brain. What can't sleep do? And research actually shows that people who are more well rested, whether that be from vacation time or from more sleep, are more productive.
So sleep like grandma.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Chelsea Zucker, thank you so much. Chef Adam Peckles coming right up. I'm going to shake some dressing just for you, so don't go away. All right, Chef Adam Peckles with us. I promised you he was going to teach us how to properly segment an orange. And this could be actually for anything. It could be for grapefruit as well, right?
Any citrus.
Okay,
any citrus,
teach us how. Knife skills.
Okay, so the French call it supremes, citrus supremes.
Okay.
I call them segments, but so we're gonna top and bottom.
North Pole, South Pole, that's what I call it.
That's it. And then we've got one of these nice caracaras.
Right.
So we top and bottom, and then we just want to cut that little pith off. Okay, little up and down. Pretty simple.
Okay.
You do need a sharp knife for this. If you don't have a real sharp knife, a serrated blade could work, but Of course, you got some nice sharp knives here, and that's preferred. And we take all that pith off.
Now, I love to put segments of oranges, and this is a beautiful carrot. Put it into my salads, right?
This one is my favorite thing to segment, is the car. Yeah.
And then I tell everybody, segment over the salad.
That's right.
Because the juice gets into the salad, right?
So what I'll do it over a bowl and catch the juice.
Yes.
In fact, here we have some juice for a dressing that we're going to do later. And you see the little lines, and you just do one little slice down to the center. And look at that. You can just take that right off the thing, and you just work your way. It seems more difficult than it is, but this is actually really simple. Of course, I've been doing this for 30 years, and so it's really easy.
Well, once you learn the technique, you can do it.
But anybody can do it. Just like that, you get these perfect little gems of citrus for salads or fish or anything.
Okay. So a lot of people make dressing out of juice of citrus.
Absolutely.
How are we going to do it, Chef?
So again, your classic vinaigrette, but I call this a citronette. And really, this is I do like a little lemon vinaigrette, and I've got some juice from some of these really nice pink lemons right here. It's a lemon, but it's delicious. It's a little bit sweeter, and we go in with just some of that. And for that simple vinaigrette, we just want a little bit of honey.
Ooh, okay.
Just a little bit, just to balance out the acidity of that citrus.
Okay.
A little bit of Dijon mustard. There he goes. Yep. A little bit of oil. I'm using an avocado oil because it's a little more neutral, and we'll let the citrus stand out.
What's the ratio here?
So when I do like a citrus vinaigrette, I do like a 2-to-1. So 2 parts oil to 1 part of the citrus juice. A little bit of salt, of course, and yep, you know it, a little bit of pepper. And again, this is all kind of subjective, however you like it. But again, a little bit of that sweetness, and of course,
how does that get mixed up?
I think you should probably shake it.
Let's
see if Mike Marks has any mixology experience.
Okay.
This guy makes cocktails. But you look at it already, look at that. You've got like almost a creamy dressing. We got a little bit of that honey still on the bottom. So you gotta shake it a little bit harder, Mike. But again, you've got almost a thick creamy dressing by just shaking it like that.
Okay. Now the elephant in the room here is this right here. Everybody's probably looking at that. And they're probably wondering, what in the world is that strange looking thing? This is my favorite citrus.
Yes. It's got a small window. This is the Buddha's hand, if you can't notice.
Also called citron.
Citron. And this is just a beautiful specimen. And you can just break these fingers off. Now, there is no juice. So if we're talking about the percentages, this is 100% no juice.
So people probably wonder, what do you do with that besides display it and make it look pretty, right?
I like to slice it thin, just like this. And I'll use something like this, almost like garlic, and I'll flavor vegetables with this. But a more traditional use is to then candy it. And what I've done here is I've got some nice candied Buddha's hand right here. You can check that out. And again, you just boil it in a simple syrup.
Oh my goodness!
Half an hour, you boil it in the simple syrup. You drain it out. You put it right into some nice fine sugar. I made this morning. There's no time at all.
That is really good.
And again, you can use this in a savory manner. Brussels sprouts. I love this with Brussels sprouts. You saute it up with any kind of vegetable, pastas. It's a magical ingredient.
Okay, the magic of the Buddha hand.
Buddha's hand.
Excellent. Thank you, Chef Adam Pecca. As always, that was fantastic. Thank you for joining us in this month's What's in Season, and we will see you next month.